Um, and I know that I was supposed to be on here yesterday. Unfortunately, there's some other stuff, other issues that I, you know, have to deal with. But but it is what it is. So I decided to go on today. Um, this past weekend, which was Juneteenth weekend, my wife and I had um, been experienced a lot of mistreatment at a hotel we were staying in. Before I continue, I want to give a shout out to everybody who retweeted my tweets, also who retweeted my wife's tweets as well. Um, talking about the ordeal. What you're about to hear, y'all, is what's going on. This past Juneteenth weekend, and it's going to surprise people, and mainly may not surprise people, but but it's happened. Now, you know, my wife surprised me at this hotel called the Doubletree, which is downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico. She surprised me because next month will be my birthday month, and she wouldn't be in town for celebrate my birthday for next month. So she surprised me this month, and this the week. And remember, this is the weekend of Juneteenth. What happened is, I don't want any other people to go through what my wife and I went through. And the Doubletree Hotel, by the way, owned by Hilton Hotel. Okay, we were there. My wife, we tried to check in the Doubletree. Unfortunately, you know, they basically the manager of the hotel. Her name was Shannon, and I'm just gonna call her out. Her name was Shannon, and we sit there because they're claiming that it wasn't ready. Now remember, my wife was saying that she planned this hotel reservations 2 weeks prior before we even checked in. So um it but so then it should have been ready for the room too before we even checked in. But anyway, um so the manager of the Doubletree saying that you know that it wasn't ready, that they have to clean up the room and everything else. And keep in mind, it was like still like we've been waiting for almost 5 or 6 hours. So it was so bad that we it was. I mean, number one, it was hot, and number two, I mean, my wife just came in, from Tennessee, so we both had to just, trying to check in and try to rest and everything else, and the room wasn't even ready. This is just basically just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the beginning of how they treated us. So we was sitting here for almost 5 to 6 hours. We was even sleeping in the lobby. And then I guess someone complained about us sleeping in the lobby. So the manager came and said, "Oh, we got this room, but the room really wasn't ready. So we had to stay in this part of the room, which is like sort of like like I said, a presidential suite. When you have like the kitchen, the office, like the living, sort of like a mini apartment." And we had to sit there for about almost like an hour or 2 hours until the guy came up and said, "Well, now your room was ready." Now remember, this is just the beginning, y'all. Okay, and so the thing of it is that before they even send us to our room, we had to go and my wife and I went to this restaurant and we had to order food there. So so we finally waiting and waiting and waiting, and that's when they said go ahead and go upstairs. I mean, go to the room and go ahead and check in and everything. But this is just the beginning. So um, so basically, how how they mistreated us is that, remember when we was in the room, it was already hot. It was, I mean, outside of Albuquerque, y'all, it was already hot as it is. But when we went inside the where the presidential suite was, it was already hot. And so we tried to change the temperature in part of that presidential suite. So I mean, they haven't even changed. They haven't really didn't do anything. So they haven't even changed the air conditioning and anything. So when the room was ready, we had to go to the room where the air conditioner was already on. When it was cold, we had to even open it up, so we had to bring the cold air from our room to parts of the presidential suite, and that is what's going on. And so, and before we leave, and this is before we leave the hotel room. So before we leave, basically they call our room up, and that's when we were still asleep. So when they call us, that we'll have complimentary breakfast. They gonna bring it up and everything else. Um, and then, like I say, about 2 hour, about no better than an hour and a half later, my wife and I decided we're gonna go ahead and get room service to get the food up. And obviously, when a person called and they try to compare another room guest to ours, saying basically, well, they can't get us our room service because they saying that the gold member, and I'm just being, this is what's happening at the Doubletree in Albuquerque downtown. It says that you have to be this hotel guest room 1505. You have to be a gold member to get the complimentary breakfast. Now keep in mind that we didn't ask for no complimentary breakfast. Keep in mind on that. And so he said we're only blue member. But even if you were a hotel, even if you stay in at a presidential suite, you still get the royal treatment, regardless of what. If you're a gold member or blue member or platinum member, it doesn't really matter at this point. So basically, when everything is said and done, you know, I have to, call them back because they were supposed to call us because they claimed they were busy and everything else. To order breakfast. So I asked, I think like we are supposed to close around about 10:30 at the time. But anyway, when I called them and I said that, can we order now? Do we have to order? And they said, well, that was said, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and order. But the thing of it is, I said, I was, we was, no, they said we were just about to call you. Now, keep in mind, this is about almost an hour until they, closed up, closed up. When you order it at the breakfast. So, so I called and I said, should I call you back? Oh no, 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 no. Go ahead and order. Okay, so we order our food, and then I went back to where the restaurant is to pick up the food. So, my wife ordered, and I remember this is the day before when I ordered the food. So we had two orange juice, freshly squeezed orange juice in our cup. So my wife ordered another orange juice, and that was that same morning. Um, then that's what hours before we even check out the room. So they said, well, we don't have that orange juice. We only have the bottle of pineapple orange juice. But the day before that day before I mean not the day before yesterday, but we had these two orange juices they was already in the cup, but now they said, we don't have we don't have that now. Okay, and I also ordered iced coffee when I was downstairs picking up the um the breakfast the breakfast. So when we pick up the breakfast food, they what they did was, and it was already a hot coffee, which I didn't even order. So they had iced coffee. So they put the ice in they put all, and it's in front of me, by the way. So when they put the ice, and they poured the ice in front of me and put it in this cup. So at the end of the day, that's really what happened. We've been mistreated. To make a long story short, we've been basically mistreated since day one. And I'm keep in mind that in the presidential suite, my wife and I were the only hotel guests was on that floor on that presidential suite. So this shows you it's racial related. It was race related because I know for a fact that if it's any other hotel guests that stayed in the presidential suite, they wouldn't have been mistreated like they did with us. I guarantee you that. And so and we have another lady, another young lady, another sister who's had this company. They have the issue with their credit cards, saying that the credit cards ain't working right, blah 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 blah. And then later on, oh, it's okay, we found it, we started looking for it. The problem is that this hotel that we stand in, and this happened in Juneteenth weekend. It happened in Juneteenth weekend. So at the end of the day, y'all, and I'm just being honest that when we basically have this issue, and of course they try to charge my wife's extra for something that it really wasn't our fault. See, y'all, we have to understand one thing, and I've been tweeting, and my wife's been tweeting about our ordeal um, when it comes to the Doubletree Hotel. Now, Doubletree did, however, try to contact us, and they want us to do it at on Twitter, DMing us saying give us the problem. And all we did was, and we decided not to respond because it's so many different people that want to know what happened. So we gave them the complaint number. Every single time they're trying to, you know, basically they trying to want to know what's going on. So we keep giving them the complaint number, and basically that is it. So, I mean, throughout this whole ordeal, and again, if you decide to stay at this DoubleTree Hotel, um, please be aware of what's happening. Um, please surrounding to what's happening, because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they did with us, and we stayed in the presidential suite at the time, and it was a surprise for me. And I think one time my wife told the hotel manager that this is a prize for my husband, blah blah blah. Don't don't say it. Don't say what the hotel room is going to be. Unfortunately, she did it anyway. She said, "Oh, this is the presidential suite," and it's just ruined the surprise. And basically, you can't compare to another hotel guest, and this is why I know this is race related. You can't compare to another hotel guest about being having a complimentary breakfast, with the with a 1505, which is another. Okay, they are gold members and blah blah blah, and we're not. And this is basically discrimination. So I want each and every one of you, and see, this is the thing. Also, they had no idea who I was or who I know. And when I tweeted everybody that I know, very important people, celebrities. They didn't know that I tweeted Paris Hilton. They didn't know that. And by the way, Paris Hilton is the daughter of the owner of Hilton Hotels. They did not know who I know. They did not know who I can who I associated with. See, they think in their mind and their heart that we're just black people. They had no mind, yada 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 yada. But they failed to realize is that I know some folks. I know people. I'm telling you, I know a lot of celebrities. I know politicians. I know. I mean, and again, in this incident, again, this happened over the Juneteenth weekend in the presidential suite. So at the end of the day, I want to give a shout out to my to the people that have been supportive of me. Adolph's been supportive of my wife and me through this whole ordeal. Um, and and we're not the only ones. There's reports that some other people of color, going through what we went through. And so, again, once we tried to, and I was considering thinking about, my wife and I was considering thinking about getting a class action lawsuit against Hilton Hotel and Doubletree Hotel for discrimination, because this is not right. You don't mistreat hotel guests like this, especially now. Especially, we paid money to stay in that hotel, and and again, they don't know who we know, and that's what they fail to realize. They don't know who we know. People thinking, oh, we this and this and this. They don't know who we're friends with, who we associated with, and it's going on. And again, and like I said, y'all can retweet my tweets. My Twitter is at the Real Lions Den. My wife's tweet is at R Freelix. Y'all can retweet all the stuff that happened with us, because I want to send them a message that you just can't treat hotel guests like this. You can't do that, especially if we paid money to stay in those rooms. And since we stayed in the presidential suite, you should have gave us even more treatment. You know, and throughout the stay there, they really didn't do that. So I really felt at that time being disrespected. My wife and I have been coldly been disrespected since day one. There have been the hotel management, along with the people that work there, has been unprofessional on a lot of things. And so this is why I said to you guys, this is why I said to you guys that keep tweeting, keep retweeting our tweets, keep liking our tweets, because what's happening is that they're seeing what we're doing right now. They're seeing this, and I want you guys to keep doing this. I really do. It should. I mean, it sends them a message that you cannot just disrespect or mistreat a hotel guest like this. You can't. And there's more incidents that's happened with us, but those are just most of it. There's other stuff that I didn't really remember, or I forgot what happened, because it was happening so fast. But when it comes to a hotel, any hotel guest, whether you're a regular hotel guest or you stayed in a presidential suite, you cannot treat hotel guests like you're crap, or like you're not, like you're a dog, or like you're homeless person in the street. You just can't do that. And so this is why it's important for y'all to go ahead and retweet my tweets, retweet my wife's tweets, like my wife's tweets. Continue doing it. Send them a message, because at the end of the day, these companies are going to look at that. Corporate people are going to look at this on Twitter. They're going to see, oh, we're not just dealing with just an ordinary guest, which we're not just an ordinary guest. We're very important people. I'm very important, as you know, on social media, you know, but they don't know that, but they know now, because I know a few people that they really didn't want people to know that. But at the end of the day, that even if I'm not important, even if I'm not just an ordinary guest, you can't just mistreat people like that. And I tell you before, this is basically race related, definitely, because you compare to another hotel guest. What they ain't gonna say what race they were. But we already know they're white, of course. But you cannot compare to another hotel guest. Oh, they're gold members to get complimentary breakfast. Who does a hotel guest like that? Who does it? Um, so at the end of the day, again, it shows you how the mistreatment that people of color going through with this hotel. And again, I want you guys keep retweeting my tweets and 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 retweet my wife's tweets. We want all the support, all the ADOS, all the B1s, all the FBAs. We want to send them a message that you just can't treat anybody, doesn't no matter what race they are or any what. It's a hotel guest. We pay good money to stay in those rooms, and you just can't treat or mistreat people like that. You just can't. You just can't. And again, I don't care if you're a celebrity. Even celebrities, you can't mistreat like that because they already know if you put that on all their social media, it's gonna be major backlash and cancel culture on the companies, on the hotel companies, and they know that. So I want you guys to go ahead, even celebrities. I can name celebrities that and even YouTubers. They got our backs. I can, and they were not happy about how they treated us. I were getting retweets from people that I don't even know got our support. So I want you guys to continue doing this because it's going to send the company a message that you cannot treat hotel guests like dirt or like a homeless person from the streets. You just can't do that, y'all. So uh, so y'all, I would like to thank each and every one of y'all for those who were already retweeting our story and liking our story. I appreciate each and every one of you guys because we need all the support that we can get. Um, Hopefully that the thing of it is they try to contact us, but we basically decided that we don't want to do it privately. We want to do it publicly to make sure that you won't treat any other hotel guest, whether you're an ordinary guest or a famous person. You don't want to have the same treatment like you did with us. You don't. So I want to take this opportunity to, go on Haps TV. For those, because most of you guys on Haps TV knows who I am. Some of y'all on YouTube definitely know who I am. Lions Den, one of the most one of the most popular, one of the most popular guys, upcoming guys on YouTube, and on all of my social media, everybody knows who I am. But I could have been an ordinary person staying in a hotel room and being mistreated like that. And you can't do that. Not as a hotel guest. And this was a surprise for my birthday. But my birthday's next month. It was a surprise, and they ruined the surprise because the manager told them, and I guess they didn't think I didn't hear that, but I did. I heard everything that the manager said. So that's all I can tell you at the moment. Um, but this is I already posted my stories all on my social media. I already posted on Twitter. I already posted on Instagram, Facebook. I posted it on my TikTok page as well as my fan base of our ordeal. And I got a lot of response and support, and then again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for your love, support, and prayers throughout this whole ordeal. Because I don't want what happened with us happen to you guys too. I don't want none of this stuff happen to you guys because it could have happened to you guys, even celebrities. It could have happened to Jay-Z, Beyonce if they decided to get a hotel suite, or Justin Bieber or anybody like that. It could have happened to them, and that's why I want each and every one of you guys. If you want to go stay in a hotel, what if it's in Albuquerque, LA, Chicago, you can stay in a hotel, but you know, just don't deal with Doubletree. Just don't deal with them at all. Just don't deal with them, because if they happen to me, Lions Den, it's going to happen to some of you guys too. So that's what I want you guys to really, 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 you know, share my story, share our story, my wife's and our story, share it, because at the end of the day, if it happens to us, it's going to happen to some of you guys too. Even celebrities, it's going to happen to y'all too. And like I said, my wife's already getting so many retweets from some are famous people too. So yes, we're it's going to this tweet that we're doing is going viral right now because of this incident. It goes going viral. So that's all I have to say at the moment, y'all. And again, I'd like to thank each and every one of you guys for your support, prayers, and keep retweeting, keep fighting, because it's time for them to send a message that if you do that to us, you're gonna do it to some of these guests too, and these guests ain't gonna be happy about how they treated, you know, especially if it's a famous person or an important person. You just can't do that. So that's all I have to say, y'all. And again, I have to thank you guys for tuning in on my Haps TV for short notice, and streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you guys for your love and support. And again, keep retweeting our tweets to send messages that you just can't do guests like that. You can't, especially with the people of color. So I will talk to you again on another live. I hope you guys tune in then, and have a great Tuesday. And this is Lions Den, and I'm gone. Deuces.